In this video, I'm going to reveal how and why the new 80/20 content strategy, the Ask Agile content marketing strategy, far surpasses in terms of efficiency the old um, way of doing content marketing. And not only that, how you can achieve more with your content marketing with less effort using this new strategy. So let's get started. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, go ahead and like, comment, and share. And I want to jump right into it because I know that if you stick around, you're going to figure out how you can find the 20% of any competitor's content as well on YouTube that's generating 80% of the results, and how you can, along with that strategy, along with the agile content marketing framework, you can focus on doubling down on the type of content that you and your competitors get the most bang for your buck from. All right. So before we get started, let me just review what I call the core business for model that I always talk about in some form or another when it comes to these videos. Now, the core of this framework is understanding that, like a car, right? Your business is like a car, right? And the thing about a car is that you have parts of your car that are like your engine, all right, or that are like the alternator on your car. If you know anything about a car, if something's wrong with your engine or your alternator, you're you're not going anywhere, right? But then you have parts of your car that are like a tail light or like a windshield wiper. It would be nice if it worked properly. It'll make your car more efficient. But if you're really in an emergency and you need to get from point A to point B fast, having a broken tail light or broken windshield wiper is not going to stop you from doing there getting there. Well, that is the perfect analogy for understanding the core of four of your business. There's some things that are major, and there's some things are minor. And our job is to focus on when you're thinking about how to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to what you invest your time and money on in your business. These four pillars. The first one is just your strategy. Strategy is about knowing what to do, where to do it, and with whom to do it, right? You get any one of those three things wrong when it comes to your strategy, and you can be working your butt off, but you're not going to get the results that you want when it comes to more leads, more visibility, and ultimately more sales and profits. All right. The second core four pillar is your conversion strategy, and we convert people through communicating by way of our content. So at the end of the day, the core of conversion is about communication, and this is about content. All right. The third pillar is traffic or our audience. All right. And then the fourth pillar, obviously, is our offer. And by offer, we don't just mean what we're selling in terms of product or service, but also the whole package, the pricing, the bundling, the bonuses, the payment terms, the guarantee. All right. And just knowing that an offer isn't just a product or service that you're selling, but also the other factors, which we can talk about at a later time, is super duper important. So, having said all that, let's walk through what strategy most people are using these days when it comes to content marketing. Most people, this is the old way of doing things that are just not going to work in today's content environment, where there's never been more freemium content available through audio or video or images or traditional text. And by premium, I mean good enough to sell, but it's free. The first step of the process is that people just come up with a genius idea on their own. You're like, oh, I like talking about X, or oh, I like talking about Y, and so I'm going to do a video or a podcast, or post, a photo, or sketch a diagram on this genius idea that's coming from within, not without. All right. The second thing is that we tend to come up with this idea, and because we want to get the best results out of it, we spend tons of time perfecting it. All right. Something that might take a day or maybe even an hour, we might end up taking a month to do. All right. Because we spent so much time, then we really have to bet it all. All right. We have to bet it all on this one piece of content that we spent in a whole month. For some people, it could be 3 months. Some people might have taken 6 years to do a piece of content, and then we launch. All right, and then at the end of the day, we either win or lose. It's sort of like a good analogy is your traditional blockbuster movie, right? They put all this time and money into creating it, and then what that movie does in the first mainly weekend number one, but sometimes weekend number two, will pretty much determine whether it was a flop or not. Versus the new way of doing things, which is that you focus on asking, you're focused on testing, and you're focused on revising. So let's just think about the new way. All right. The new way is the ask agile content marketing um, strategy. And if you're familiar with the term agile, it comes from agile product development in the software world, where you basically more or less you create a product in partnership with your users. You are almost like a somebody at a restaurant, and you're creating the final dish in partnership with your customer, right? So somebody doesn't imagine somebody at a carryout. Person doesn't just walk up to them and they say hi, and then the person says, "Okay, I'll be back in 5 minutes," and they just go and decide what they're going to create for the person in terms of the carryout order right off the top of their head. It's like, oh, this person looks like a hamburger person, right? No, it doesn't work like that. You ask the person, and they tell you, well, do you, and you ask them a series of questions. Do you want this? Do you want that? Same thing with a piece of custom furniture, right? There's furniture that people have just created based on ideas in their head, and then there's furniture where you go to somebody, it's custom designed. You ask the person a series of questions to determine what they really want, and then you go and create it. And guess what? Those that kind of product is a lot more likely to get results. All right. And let's just say test. As an example, the old me would have stopped the video having made a mistake like that, right? The new me, it's all about execution. It's all about testing. Even this video, I'm testing a new way of coming up with content on the fly. This video, which is going to production time, which is under a day. Okay. A year ago, 2 years ago, it might have taken a week. All right. So the new strategy is ask versus tell. All right. Step one. Step two is you create. All right. Step three is you test. Step four is you measure. And then the fourth step is that you revise, and then you repeat based on the feedback. All right. Another way of looking at this is in a really solid mind map, right? So again, step one is about asking, observing, and compiling. So what do I mean by that? Well, the first thing is that you ask, all right? And here are four strategies for asking and getting the information you need. Sidebar, this is called first party data. First party data is basically proprietary data that you own that comes right from the source. You didn't get it from a second party, right? So we know about quizzes. Quizzes are hugely popular now, and that's why, for instance, BuzzFeed's top content, some of its top content are quizzes. Quizzes are a very unobtrusive way to get feedback, unobtrusive and fun way to get feedback on very personal matters from your audience in a manner that you enjoy. And in other words, in a manner that they enjoy, rather, but also in a manner that enables you to get the exact details that you want. All right. Second one is questionnaires. It's pretty straightforward. Sidebar is super easy to go to drive.google.com and create a free um, questionnaire or survey. All right. Um, Without having to use paid tools. All right. Same thing. I already mentioned surveys, but knowing the difference between questionnaires and surveys, a questionnaire just tends to have questions followed by a field for people to answer. All right. So they're open ended. Surveys tend to enable you to use not only just open ended questions, all right, open ended and closed ended questions, but also check boxes and drop down menus, that sort of thing that enable the people to give you feedback without having to think so much. All right. Now, here's a really great hack: comment section. The comment section of your blog, the comment section of a video. All right. The comment section of a a website post. All right, that's a really great way. Also, another section would be to dig into the types of support emails that you get, right? So, as an example, if you're doing videos, one of the things that you can do is ask directly for feedback and tell people to drop their feedback in the comment section of the video. And then also, if you want to take it a step further, you can ask people to vote with their like. Which comment do you think is the best, right? Or rather, the most helpful, right? So if you don't want to go so far as to do quizzes or questionnaires or surveys, go ahead and consider asking direct questions, okay, in videos, all right, or asking direct questions in blog posts, although videos tend to work better, and then using people's comments as direct feedback, all right. Another really great hack um, is I just thought of this webinars, right? Webinar questions, right? The thing about a webinar is that polls, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and add another one too, because that's another way of getting feedback. Poll, all right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So by the way, if you have used any of these, go ahead of these 6 types of um, tools, if you will, of getting declared data. Go ahead and drop in the comment section which one have you found to be most useful. I personally have gotten really great result with webinar feedback, and I've also gotten really great results with questionnaires using um, Google Forms. All right. Um, And the important thing to understand is that there are 3 types of data, right? So there's declared data, there's demonstrated data, and there's compiled data, right? And what do I mean by this? So there's certain kind of data that comes from your observing a person, right? So as an example, if I were to ask you, what is your favorite? I'm going to use something really random here. What is your favorite color of whatever blouse, right? And I you told me in a survey or questionnaire that your favorite color was yellow, right? And then I was given permission to follow you around for 6 months, every time you went shopping, and it turns out every time you buy a shirt is fuchsia red. Well, that means that your declared data is different, all right, what you might have said in a survey, than your observed data. So this is the data. Demonstrated data is the kind of data that you get through people's behavior, and it often is by way of analytics. Okay, of course there are new tools out there like is virtual reality glasses that can see, watch you as you view content on the web, so on and so forth. So I'll talk about that in another session for another day. If you're interested in, go ahead and drop me a line. But for now, the best way of thinking about tools that enable you to get to gather demonstrated data is analytics tools. All right, people don't really understand that. Number one, there are 6 types of analytics at least. All right. Most people just are familiar with web analytics. All right. But not only are there 6 types of analytics, the thing is that the JavaScript code that you put on a page, what happens is that as people um, use the web, all right, and they click here and they click there, it's basically tracking people's behavior, and then it uses that. Google first uses that behavior in its machine learning algorithms, all right. But you also, it also enables. So what happens, for instance, with Google Analytics is that Google does one of 2 things. It another really uh, another one is stats tracker, or let's just say Adobe. There's another one called Stats Tracker, but for now we're just talking about this main one, okay? And the whole idea here is to understand that when you put your Google Analytics code on your website, okay, what happens is that there's code all over the internet, right? And so what happens is that it compiles the data for all of the websites, right? And then it also it has that data available only for itself. But then the or rather the behavioral data only for itself, and then the actions that take place on your website you're given access to, right? So as an example, and this is just I'm doing this in front of you just so you can see how this works. I'm just going to go to, let's say, NewYorkTimes.com, and I'm going to I'm pretty sure that they make use of um, Google Analytics. All right. So I'm just going to go here and wait for Google Analytics. Okay. And it's going to show me how many other websites um, use Google Analytics, right? So it says that right now there's 29 million websites that use Google Analytics. Now, truth be told, I know that there are probably more than 29 million websites. But look, BuzzFeed News, okay? Like, so all of these, what happens is because Google Analytics is on all of these websites, okay? Some of them you've heard, all right? Some of them you haven't heard of. The Canva you've probably heard of. The whole point is that this code is because it's on these different websites, it literally millions and millions, 29 million plus websites, the behavior of every individual, all right, on these 29 million websites are being compiled. And then Google uses machine learning, all right, to look at patterns, and then it makes that data available to you in whole or in part. Now, the only specific data about your website, certain data is only available to you as the owner of that website. But then there's more general data about trends and so on and so forth that's available inaccurate. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to give you an example of how web analytics, all right, is used in order to compile demonstrated data. All right. Now, there's also social analytics, meaning tools that help you to gauge which pieces of content on social websites get the most likes, comments, and shares. There's ad analytics, shopping analytics. See, typically there are third-party tools out there that help you see what's going on big shopping sites like Amazon. Okay, there's customer or CRM analytics, and their mobile analytics. The whole point, though, is that for each channel of the web, whether it's social, search, i.e., web, um, ads, whether it's display ads, push ads, native, so on and so forth, shopping, all right. Shopping, you've heard of the term shopping engine. Your CRM, typically the email channel, and then mobile. The whole point, though, is that people are behaving differently on social than they are on search, on through display ads, differently than they are on social sites, through the email channel, differently than they are in mobile. And when you can collect data from those different channels, and it can help you to see, okay, what are people really interested in? As an example, there are some websites that get a hell of a lot of mobile traffic, all right? But you go on YouTube and you don't see anything about them. Or you can find somebody that has 100,000 Instagram or Facebook followers, and they're not running any ads, or they don't have any truth be told, those people are probably not building up an email list, and so they don't have any CRM data. All right. To bring this on home, as I said, the whole idea with um, the agile content marketing process is that are you're asking versus telling, right? And then what's happening is that because you're asking versus telling, and you're using data, you are building something, all right, based on what the market wants as opposed to what you think it should have, all right. um, Riddle me this: if you walked into a doctor's office, and before the doctor asked you what your symptoms were, he just gave you some medicine, I'm sure you would agree that chances are you probably wouldn't leave the doctor's office um, healed. In fact, you could even leave the doctor's office sicker than you were before. What if you were allergic to penicillin, for instance, and without even asking you, he prescribed you or she prescribed you medicine, right? And so, again, just to bring on home, the core difference between the old way and the new way is that we, instead of coming up with our own quote unquote genius ideas, we realize that the market is always going to be more genius at telling you what people want than you are on your own. And so you ask versus tell. The second part of the process begins with creation, but you're creating quickly, all right? Because you're going to put something out there quickly to test, as opposed to putting a huge, massive piece of content out there and hoping that it's the one piece of content that just turns your life around. No, we don't do that, all right? So after we've gathered the data through we've gathered declared data through these um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strategies or tools, and through analytics. Or lastly, and really quickly, compiled data is just using research tools, third-party research tools like the one I just used, built with. All right. There's also tools like SEMrush, BuzzSumo, Ahrefs, etc. These are the tools that we can use to come up with a very well researched understanding of what the market wants. All right, and then we go and create, and then we test. Testing means we just release or publish, but then we do something that tends to not be in the old way, which is that we measure. All right, we measure the feedback, okay? And then after we get the results from that, then we double down on what works, which is the 80/20, and we repeat the process over and over again. So, what I'm going to do is a real life example of content, all right, using the new agile content marketing strategy, which is very 80/20 versus the old way of doing things, all right? So, what I have is 3 examples, and I've decided I'll use some money examples. All right. So if you're into investing in money at all, these are names that you should know if you don't already. The first one is the Carlyle Group. All right. The second one is JP Morgan. And the third one is Bridgewater Associates. So let's just start here and work our way backwards. Bridgewater Associates is the world's largest hedge fund, largest hedge funds. You'll see. All right. You follow the phrase go where the money is. I actually think that they're no longer at 124. I think they're at 160 billion now. Yep, 160 billion. Be that as it may. And still at that level, there's not a big difference between 124 and 160 billion. All right. Next one is J.P. Morgan's Chase, the world's as of this taping, largest investment bank. And the third one is Carlyle Group, the world's largest private equity firm. And here I'm going by assets under management, according to the source that I use, right? And so what we have here is just a strategy. I'm going to show you that in order to, one quick trick to be able to see behind the hood of a channel is just go in and don't go directly to their main page. Just type in their name into YouTube, right? And then what YouTube is going to do is going to show you how many subscribers they have and how many videos they have, right? So this is the strategy that nobody's talking about that's going to be helpful to you. Let's just say you were running a finance blog, right, or vlog, and you decided that hey, you wanted to play with the big boys and big girls, and so you wanted to see who some of the what kind of content the most prestigious names in the financial services space, 3 of them at least, what kind of content they were producing, all right, and how the audience react to it. Remember, this is because you're not quite asking an audience here. Let's just say you're running a new blog, so you're right now is an example of executing the compile strategy, and you're using all right YouTube search to figure out okay what is it that people like, all right. So you're doing a content strategy. Step 1 is asking, and you're using compile versus like demonstrated or declared data, all right? And you're using YouTube, okay? So the first step is you go here, and that's already going to tell you how many videos you have, and it's going to tell you how many subscribers they have. Now, when you click on the video page and you go to about, all right, then on the right hand side or toward the bottom, depending on you're using mobile or desktop, it's going to show you how many views you're getting. All right. And it's also going to tell you how long they've been online, but that is not as important as what I'm about to show you. So, what you want to do is click on videos, right? And then you want to sort by most popular, all right? And then it's going to show you what the most popular video is. So now this is a really great example of the 80-20. We want to prove that the 80-20 principle is not a theory, but it's an observation. What's the difference between a theory and observation in science? Well, one is something that we're positing to be true. It may or may not true. An observation is a natural phenomenon that appears over and over again, just like the number pi. Number pi is not a theory, it's an observation of how nature organizes herself, right? So I'm going to do that for each channel and we're going to see, all right? So again, simple math to see the 80-20. What is the math that you use is simply you multiply 20%, all right? You want to, or rather you multiply like 80% times the number of views, and that's going to tell you like that's going to give you a specific number, right? So I'm going to do this for each one of these. So this has 333.9, so let's say 34,000 subscribers, 491 videos, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing, all right? And then we're just going to do a little simple math, right? So this has 3.1 million views, right? So to find the 80-20 of the views, you just multiply 80% of this, 0.8 times this number, right? So let's just multiply 0.8 times this number, right? Okay. And this says what? 2.5 million, right? Now we have the 80-20 of the views, but we also need to know the 80-20 of the number. So this number 2.5 of 80% of this number, right? But now we needed to get the number of videos, okay? 491, right? So we've got the 80%, now we need the 20%. So according to this video, 20% of these 491 videos give you the over 2.5 million views, right? So here I'm just going to multiply, and you can go back and watch this video to see how it's done. I'm just going to go back and multiply 491 times 20%. 491 times 20%. And that's 96, right? So according to this video, 96 videos or less get 96 videos or less get 2.5 million views. Well, I'm going to go on a limb and say that it's going to be far less than 20%, right? So what we do is let's just go here and I'm going to use the strategy that I just showed you, right? And I'm going to hit about, all right? And then that tells you again, just review a number of views. All right, then you hit video, all right? Simple, like elementary school math can go really, really far. Most popular, all right? Okay. Check this out. Boom, 1.3, right? So we have one, I'm just going to take 4 videos, the top 1%. So 4 of these videos, right, is 4 of these videos, okay, right here. All right. So all you got to do is look at this number of views. So we have 1.3 plus 1.3 million plus 92,000, all right? And I'm just going to round up a bit, all right? So 1.3, all right? And let's just call that 2 million, all right? Plus these 2, all right? 3 million. So basically you have 3 videos on this channel. All right? 3 videos. Let me say it again. There are 3 of these videos that are responsible for 1.3, 2.3, all right? You add the other 4, 3 million, 4 of these videos, okay? You saw it with your own eyes. 4 of these videos, okay, are getting, all right? 4 of these videos are responsible for the 3 million approximately of these this channel's view. All right. Now, views. Now, I would go so far as to say that probably a lot of people who are either see themselves as competitors of this organization, or maybe even the person who is responsible for their like video content. Like many may not know this. So the question is, how do you go about using this data? Well, um, um, uh, if you already saw with your own two eyes, right? Most popular, right? That for this particular channel, all right, these three videos get the bulk of, get the bulk of the views. Then doesn't it make sense to analyze? Okay, what works, right? You can also see, which videos are getting like the least feedback, all right, and then you can purpose yourself to say, okay, we want to make sure that we stop doing videos like that, all right, and we start doing videos like what really works. Another example, okay, this channel has 11 videos, right, and then if we click on it and we go to about 11 videos, 500,000 views. All right. So the 80/20 would say that what? Like one, you're already going to see from the other example. One or two of the videos from this channel, all right, is going to have the vast majority of these, approximately 550,000 views. All right. So just let's look at this and see. Pretty simple. All right. I just go most popular. All right. And wow, we see, look, amazingly, and this video was just done 3 months ago, 296,000 views, right? How old is this channel? Let's just look at it. About. All right. So this channel was started in the fall of um, 2013, right? Yet one video, all right? One video is responsible for amazingly more than half of their views, right? So it would make sense to anybody who's responsible for this company to know this video, maybe um, you analyze it. It's 31 minutes of content. What really works well? Go. One hack would be to go in this video, right, and then you sort by this is social data, by the way, right? So social analytics, all right. We talked about that. Observe data, okay? Social analytics, all right? So what I would do is just go here and then I would just need to refresh the screen. All right. Pretty easy to do. Okay. You want to see which of these which content gets the most number of like likes. All right, it's pretty easy to see that. And just for time purposes, I won't do it here. You can do it yourself. Just go to this video, all right, and then scroll down, and it'll show you. All right. The final one is the Carlisle Group, 67,000. Just go videos and sort most popular. All right, and yeah, sort most popular. 67,000. Yep. So one video, all right, gets a third almost, um, more than a third actually, of all its traffic. All right. So this is a video from 9 years ago. All right. Even looking at this, so if it were I would just figure out, is even though this video is an old video, you can also go by newest, all right? And let's just say you wanted to start with the video. This is a way to do it even deeper dive. These are the newest videos. So if you wanted to see what was the 80/20 for, let's just say the past year, right? One, two. So what I would do, just showing you how to do this simple math, you can just add up. These are all the videos that were posted in the past year, all right? So it says year, right? So I'd add up these numbers: 323, 739, 610, all the videos for this past year. And then you would figure out which one of those videos got the most views, it's pretty easy to see that this video of the past year is the 80/20. So this one video, 1.2 thousand views, all right, almost yeah, the 1.2 thousand views almost got one. Yeah, it did get more traffic, almost one video than, if you combined all of these, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's easy to do. Again, unless you have a tool, you just have to do some really simple math on your own. But the benefit of this is that it doesn't matter who you are, right? Let's just say you were selling, I don't know, let's say you had an e-commerce product and you were selling like running, right? Whatever, running shoes, all right, or whatever, running vlog, all right, running channel, all right. Now I don't know. I'm just pulling this up, okay. I don't know if I just type in running, and I'm just gonna look and see what the channels are. All right. I don't know what the top channel is, but whatever. Okay. This has 326,000 views. Oh, all right. Let's say if I want to just sort by, let's say you can sort by channel. All right. Type. And it's going to show me all the top channels with running in it. I don't quite like that. 326. Let's just say this one. All right. So what I would do if I were going to launch a new running vlog or do running video content, this has 326,000 subscribers. Let's see how many videos it has. 733 videos. Okay. All right. What I would do is, all right, most popular. All right. 3.2 million views. All right. Now let's just see how many views it has in total. 29 million, right? So this one video on this channel has three, forget 80/20, like one of the videos here on this channel, all right? Just one video has 10% of the views, right? Even though we saw that there are how many videos, all right, in total? So 10% of this, 10% of the views, even though it has 733 videos, there's one video that's getting uh, um 10%. All right. So the question is like, does how much time do the owners of this channel spend analyzing these top videos, right? And I already showed you how you can do it top videos per year, all right, or for a particular time period, the past 6 months or whatever, all right. And so what you just do is, okay, like if I went inside again, if I went inside of this video and I looked at the comments, I looked at what was being said. There's a way to sort by top comments, right? Okay, so this got 1.8 sorry 1.8K or almost 2,000 likes. Okay, so something about this comment people really liked. All right. So the question is, did they reach out to this person? Like maybe if it were me, this is how you really do research. Like I would ask some questions, right? Maybe even interview them, etc. All right. So this is how Agile content marketing works. Again, you ask versus tell, you create, all right, you test, then you measure. What we've done in the previous tabs is measure, and then you repeat and revise, right? Double down on what's working, all right? It's pretty clear that this video by Mr. Dalio on China's growth in the world economy, which by the way is brilliant, really resonates with its audience, right? It's getting basically 300,000, it's gotten 300,000 views, right? But this channel only has a half million, 550,000 views, right? So my question is, with all of this, like most popular, let's just look and see to close this out. Like, what are some of the things that people measure? Like, what are the comment section? Remember, one of the strategies that we use is like the comment sections, right? That's pure gold, right? like people are interacting in the heat of the moment, so to speak, when it comes to content, right? So what I would do is just the comment section may not be enabled for this channel. So if it isn't, then you wouldn't be able to see it. Some of the more let's just shall we say old school kind of companies, they don't have the comment section enabled. Doesn't look like that's enabled. All right. So there you have it. Go ahead again, use the strategy, which is that you go out. If you don't quite have an audience already to ask, then my word to you would be to figure out who your target market is and then just start asking people in comment sections, right? Or you can run some paid traffic to a survey. Okay. Um, Once you ask, if it, in light of the first party declared data, people telling you precisely if you can't do a quiz, if you can't run a questionnaire, if you can't run surveys, all right. If you a webinar or even a live feed is a really great way. Let's say on Facebook or YouTube, a live stream is a really great way to get feedback. If that doesn't work, then or poll doesn't work, then go to second party data. Second party data just means somebody else's content, typically on websites you don't own, and you can figure out from the comment sections, right? Like this is actually like pure gold. Like people are very vocal on videos and blog comments, right? So figure out what people are saying. Oftentimes people can tell you what they don't like. As an example, and no disrespect to the Valuetainment channel, Ray Dalio, Valuetainment. The fellow who has this channel typically has really great content, but if you go on this channel and read some of the comments of this interview, and I'm just going to sort here by top comments, you'll see that over and over again, like the word interrupt, all right, interrupt. People are talking about him being interrupted over and over again, right? So if there were me and I were self-aware, like I would use this um feedback, all right? Somebody like this 58 times, 248 times. Like it's pretty clear that like that was a misstep, all right? And so what I would do is like this is such valuable content, and um I would use this, me as a content provider, all right, to figure out, okay, if I'm going to be doing content and I'm interviewing somebody of very high esteem, I need to make sure that I don't interrupt them because that's something that audience members don't like, right? And they can actually tell you, they can actually tell you like what's the making of a good interview. Somebody who listens, they talk often about, somebody like this 216 time. I think the key to being a good interviewer is to be a good listener. When you're talking, not listening, right? This is such valuable feedback. This is stuff that chances are, if these people ever met this guy in person, they would never say that to him in person. But if he's self-aware and he strikes me as being a self-aware kind of guy, he's going to listen. So I hope this content uh, serves you well. This is a really great way of figuring out for any market or for any influencer what tends to resonate with their audience. If it's your content, after you've put out enough content, you want to sit back and see, okay, what content do people tend to really resonate with, and let me do more of that. Let me throw gasoline onto the fire. The 80/20 analogy is like this: like if you have a little bit of gasoline, if you have a small fire and you throw a little bit of gasoline on it, you can turn that small fire into a big fire with little effort. Right. So similarly, using to sum up the new way, which is asking versus telling, then creating content. All right. Then testing, then measuring, as we measured here. All right. And then after measuring, revising your content to give them more of what they want, and then repeating, versus the old way, which is just hounding yourself, trying to come up with the perfect genius idea, spending tons of time on it, then because you spent so much time on it, you're mostly wrapped up into that one particular piece de resistance um, taking off, and then you bet it all right, and then either you win or you lose. And if you win, great, but you don't know how you're going to repeat your genius. Or if you lose, you're totally dejected, and oftentimes you don't do any more content. All right. I hope this video finds you well. In some, you can't beat the new agile content marketing strategy. All right. And I encourage you to really always consider how this fits into the big screen, big picture of things. There are typically four locks, if you will, that when unhinged, help us to get the results that we want when it comes to our business. It's our strategy, our conversions, our traffic, and our offer. All right. And a big part of conversion, as we just talked about, is creating the kind of content or communication pieces that are born of asking the market versus telling it, and where you're doubling down on what's already worked. And science, that's called a feedback process. Okay. Hope this finds you well. Shola out. Take care and take action.